From the beautiful city of Los Angeles, California, we bring you the Gimme 3 podcast. Hello and welcome, cinephiles, cinema lovers, and movie appreciators to the Gimme 3 podcast. It's your go-to movie podcast where we pick 3 films that are connected by one theme. I'm Nicholas Ibarra. I'm joined by my dazzling co-host, Bella F. Stratus.
Ooh.
Yeah,
hello.
You like that one?
I like that one. Hello, everyone. How are you?
I'm doing good. Yeah, so it was a busy week as always, but you know what they say. Better busy than bored.
Yes, it's true. I don't know for me, though.
I know. I think the person who said that was probably like a bored person,
Just always perpetually bored.
The grass is always greener, as they say.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
But anyways, on today's episode, long overdue, but today we are celebrating one of the most beloved, prolific comedic actresses ever, Catherine O'Hara, who sadly passed away this January. And as you can imagine, it was incredibly challenging to pick just 3 pictures for Miss O'Hara. So we decided to go with a specific theme within the Catherine O'Hara filmography, which we'll get into. But Bella, I want to talk to you real quick about just like, what was your introduction to the lovely Catherine O'Hara?
I was thinking about this, and I think it had to have been Home Alone. Watched it every year, every Christmas, since I can remember watching movies. And it's just, a testament to her skills is like, I guess she has like a good amount of screen time, but she's kind of like half and half with the movie, and yet so memorable. Mm-hmm. And just like the ultimate movie mom for me in my eyes growing up. And so funny. I think I didn't really get to like appreciate how funny she is until I got older, because obviously that role is just like kind of stressful as a kid. Right. You're like, wait, this isn't funny. He needs his mom now. But, aging with that was just like, such a joyful experience. She's just, I can't believe it was back in January. God, time flies. But it still hasn't like sunken in for me. Like hearing that she passed was just like such a hard hit for me. I still can't believe it. I love her so much. And it's just been so nice to revisit her on the screen back to back this week. What was your introduction to Catherine O'Hara?
I think Home Alone as well. Yeah, I think.
Oh, really?
I think a lot of people in this country, Home Alone, Beetlejuice, After Hours, is probably like it's one of those 3, where people were introduced to Catherine O'Hara, and people my age and your age, Gen Z and millennial, for a lot of people, is probably Home Alone. And in Home Alone specifically, like you said, kind of like you, I just fell in love with her as a great mother character. Great mother. She left her fucking kid at Christmas. But
I know, right? I was thinking that as I was saying it too. I was like, wait.
But it's kind of funny now knowing so much more about her career and her strengths and stuff. It's interesting to be introduced to her with that character, because it's one of her more grounded, less comedic performances.
Yeah.
But I also think that just underscores her range, and how even with her comedic characters, whether it's, this one or some of the ones that we're going to be talking about today, she just added this life and this truth to all of them. So we'll get into it, but I'm going to give a little or a big intro actually to Miss Catherine O'Hara, who grew up in Toronto. Of course, she's a Canadian. If you're ever wondering, man, why was Catherine O'Hara so amazing? Why is she so great? Why is she so much better than the rest of them? Well, she's Canadian. She grew up in Toronto, second child of 7. And one of the first people that she met that inspired her comedic prowess was another icon of improv and sketch comedy, Gilda Radner. Gilda was in Toronto for a play, and at the time she was dating one of Catherine's brothers. So Gilda would come over to the house and they would like play these little improv games. And Catherine was just absolutely taken by her. And 1 year later, she would join the Second City Improv Group in Toronto as a waitress. And Gilda was there in the cast. But when Gilda Radner took off to do Saturday Night Live, Catherine saw the opening. She stepped up. She filled the position, which happened to be perfect timing because it wasn't too long after this, of course, that Second City Toronto would be launching their own sketch comedy show on television, SCTV. And O'Hara was, of course, one of the show's premier cast members and writers, along with several other comedic legends who she'd collaborate with for years and decades to come, including John Candy, Eugene Levy. Of course, the show also featured the likes of Andrea Martin Short, Rick Moranis, and Joe Flaherty, just to name a few.
Katharine Hepburn tells us about her first time.
Oh, I won't say what year it was. That would be telling too much. I will say, though, that I've always believed that no matter my age, I'm young enough and old enough to do anything. It was in Baltimore, and I was playing a flapper in a production of The Cradle Snatchers, and there was this lovely old stagehand, a clean man, a good hard worker. We'd shared only friendly chit-chat till this day, and I didn't expect to have much in common with him, but I was intrigued, and it seemed somehow right to accept his offer. He suggested using the living room set right on the stage, but I feel the stage should be reserved for performing, and a performance was hardly what I had in mind. So we used my dressing room. I was a little shocked at myself. I mean, I should have been rehearsing my lines or doing something professional instead of simply enjoying myself with this silly old stagehand, but nevertheless, I believe when opportunity knocks, you've got to say, hell, how do I know I may not get another chance at this one? And here was this nice stranger offering me whatever he had, and, well, I didn't like it at first. Of course, I didn't dare tell him, but it wasn't exactly what he promised. But then I decided to relax. You've got to allow yourself time to acquire a taste for the finer things in life. And soon I did. And to this day, at least once a day, I enjoy a good, strong, hot cup of Twilling's tea. It's refreshing, revitalizing, and it tastes wonderful.
Twilling's tea, every time, is as good as the first time.
It's one of the few real pleasures in life.
But in 1982, Catherine O'Hara decided to leave SCTV because she wanted to spread her acting wings. And I think she just wanted to experience a little bit more of life. Doing a sketch comedy show, as anybody who's worked on SNL can tell you, it is an all-consuming beast. So the jump from sketch TV to film actress proved to be quite the hard transition. You know, she would get some roles here and there, doing some movies with some SCTV friends and stuff, but she was looking for that big major motion picture role, which she got finally in Martin Scorsese's After Hours. And she landed the role kind of by chance. She had a chance encounter meeting Marty at Toronto International Film Festival. He recognized her, being a fan of SCTV, and he was like, hey, I know you, you know, and he invited Catherine O'Hara and her sister to dinner with him and Robert De Niro and Harvey Keitel and his editor, Thelma Schoonmaker. They all went out to dinner. And at the end of the night, he was like, I want to give you my phone number. And he ripped off a piece of his passport and wrote his phone number on it. And then a year or two later, she went in to meet with him about After Hours, and Marty told her about this crazy story about him nearly being detained in the Middle East when he was scouting for Passion of the Christ. They almost detained him because his passport was torn, and he had to explain to them, like, it's only torn because I wanted to give my phone number to this actress.
Oh,
I was like, Marty, you write it on, you know, anything else. Like,
yeah, it's kind of important.
a napkin. Like, anything. Her hand, like, I don't know if you guys have ever done cocaine, but it makes you do crazy shit.
That was a drug.
Anyways, going from working with Martin Scorsese to another legend, other legends like Meryl Streep and Jack Nicholson. That's exactly what she did in the 1986 film Heartburn, which she's great in. And at this point, Catherine O'Hara's talent was pretty much undeniable. She'd go from working with legends to becoming one, because it started happening where, like, if Catherine O'Hara was in a movie, there's a good chance it's going to be a freaking bona fide classic. You got Beetlejuice, you got Home Alone. And of course, Beetlejuice is the film where she would meet her husband, production designer Bo Welsh. So found the love of her life with that picture. And it was in the mid-90s, early 2000s that Catherine O'Hara was able to find a home away from home when she began collaborating with Christopher Guest in his mockumentary-style films. And that, of course, is the theme and subject for our episode today. She reunited with Eugene Levy, as well as tremendous ensemble of great comedians, including Fred Willard, Parker Posey, Michael McKean, Jane Lynch, Jennifer Coolidge, Harry Shearer, and many, many more. In these films, Catherine O'Hara reminds the world about what a comedic powerhouse she is. She got this keen sense of improvisation, because all these films are, essentially improvised. Her amazing sense of timing, her silent delivery, her physical comedy, which doesn't get mentioned enough. But so often, as ridiculous as her characters can be, there is a real sense of truth and life in these characters, as I talked about with Home Alone, which is a grounded character, but in these characters are not so grounded, but she still brings this truth and honest backstory to the performances as well, which why they stand the test of time. Bella, I'm excited to hear your thoughts on all three of the pictures that we're going to be discussing today, because I believe these were first time watches for you, right?
They were, yes. They'd been on my list, especially this first one. My mom recently watched it and has begged me to watch it almost every day since. So this one's for her.
Nice. Well, let's get into her.
All right, we're going back to 1996 with the film that kicked off Christopher Guest's directing career of the mockumentary. A master of disguise with a phenomenal roster of comedians can really only bring something as hilarious and brilliant as Waiting for Guffman. Set in the small city of Blaine, Missouri, the film follows a handful of residents preparing to put
Blaine, Missouri.
Oh, thank you. Yes,
Two
Missouri.
different places. There's Missouri, and then there's Missouri, and this is Blaine, Missouri.
Oh my, thank you. Blaine, Missouri. The film follows a handful of residents preparing to put on a community theater production for the town's 150th anniversary, led by Christopher Guest, starring as the very eccentric director Corky St. Clair. In honor of the town's anniversary, this musical, titled Red, White, and Blaine, chronicles Blaine's history from discovery and establishment as the stool capital of the United States to modern-day trivia like the town's apparent visit by a UFO. Corky and Lloyd Miller, the musical director, played by Bob Balaban, hold auditions open to the entire town, which leads us to our cast. Fred Willard and Catherine O'Hara play Ron and Sheila Albertson, married travel agents and aspiring performers who have starred in a few of Corky's other plays around town. They're like the classic drama kids who do this every year and will make damn sure that you know it. Eugene Levy plays Dr. Alan Pearl, the local dentist who gets cast in the play much to everyone's surprise. Parker Posey plays Libby Mae Brown, a sweet little airhead and beloved employee at the Dairy Queen. Matt Kiesler is Johnny Savage, an untalented hot piece of ass that Corky recruits for the play. And Louis Arquette plays Clifford Woolley, the town's retired taxidermist who takes on the role as the musical's narrator. What starts as a local town celebration quickly becomes a high-stakes, career-defining production when Corky announces that Mort Guffman, a Broadway producer, is coming to see the show. If the cast can land a positive review from Mr. Guffman, well, that's a one-way ticket to Broadway, baby. On the night of the show, Guffman shows up late but thoroughly enjoys the production. And after all the thrills and celebrations of a successful show, Corky invites him backstage to meet the cast, where it's revealed that Mr. Guffman is actually just some guy visiting Blaine for the birth of his niece's baby. But he sure loved the show. 6 months later, Libby May is still working at the Dairy Queen, possibly inventing a new healthy low-fat blizzard. The Albertsons have pursued their acting dreams in LA as extras, and Alan has done the same as a performer in a retirement home in Miami, Florida. And Corky has returned home to New York City, where he's opened a Hollywood-themed novelty shop with Brat Pack bobbleheads and a whole bunch of other absolutely ridiculous goodies that I honestly won't spoil because it's just too good. It's a timeless cult classic and really the beginning of an era. Nick, what did you think of Waiting for Guffman?
Yeah, I mean, this is really out of this world comedy. It's just something that I don't even, sometimes this movie pops me, you know, sometimes it will get me to like crack up and laugh, but I watch this movie and it's more like I'm just in awe of the talent because there's a joke, I think every 15 seconds.
Yeah.
And it's all improvised, you know?
It's insane.
It's really unbelievable. And, you know, the jokes are one thing, the comedy's one thing, but the nuances with the performance, like you look at what Catherine O'Hara's doing with Sheila Albertson and the way that she looks at Fred Willard when he's talking, and you just get without them ever talking about it or saying it, you just understand this marriage and how fucked up it is, like immediately, just by the way that she looks at him. And, you know, you watch Christopher Guest in his interviews and you're just like, motherfucker, if I don't know this fucking guy, you know, like we all know this person.
Right.
So it's just so on point, and it's like watching, you know, I compare it to watching, you know, an amazing, beautifully shot film by Roger Deakins, where you're just like, my God, look at that artistry. Like that's what I look at when I see this movie and these actors, these comedic actors doing what they're doing. I'm in total awe of the talent.
I agree. It's just everyone's firing on all cylinders. And, you know, you mentioned earlier about Catherine O'Hara having like so much depth to her performances, even in something like this, where it is completely ridiculous. You know, and this is no shade to the other performances. Like, I think they're all extraordinary, but she always just feels like the most lived in character. Like, I believe she's that person. And sometimes with the, like, even to the point where it's like, I'm not even thinking about Catherine O'Hara. Like, she's just this person now.
Yeah.
And maybe in this, it's also, you know, that also has to do with Fred Willard's performance, where it's like,
totally,
he's so over the top and like constantly putting her character down and trying to like steal the show. But the way she reacts to that actually ends up stealing the show for me. Like watching, like you said, watching her watch him, because he's just fucking hilarious. Like he's going off, and I think he is fantastic in this. But watching her watch him, it makes everyone, it makes his performance even funnier, which is, I mean, probably one of like the highest compliments you can give to a comedian in a way.
Oh yeah, I mean, this is what great ensembles do. They're all working in conjunction together, and that's kind of why I wanted to pick these films to talk about Catherine O'Hara's career. Is just like, how do you pick three? But it's just like with these three films, you're really watching this dance, and you're watching these performers play off of each other and create something that is so hilarious, but they more than just like hilarious jokes that they're creating. They are creating this immersive world in real time that they are, like coming up with this stuff, and it all feels true. And I mean, that's just not a lot of actors can do that. These guys can. These guys can do it.
I already want to rewatch it because, like you said too, you almost can't take all of it in on a first watch.
Oh yeah.
It's rapid fire comedy. Every single line has its own type of comedy as well, whether it's like, physical or slapstick or just like witty or utterly ridiculous, sheer stupidity.
Right.
I also it's funny to watch all three of these and have seen random scenes from them just on the internet. Like, obviously, I feel like one of the most famous from this is Parker Posey. I could always go back to the Dairy Queen. They said they'll take me back. Who also, I have to shout her out. She's so funny in this movie.
Yeah.
Just so chaotic, like way too much energy.
And
her yet too. Also like the opposite side.
We all know that girl too,
Oh yeah, exactly. Yeah, this is also a movie made for like theater kids. It made me think of, I feel like, Theater Camp, that movie that I loved from, was it 2023? Definitely was inspired by this, the mockumentary style and everything, but also just like those extreme personalities. But I think what's even funnier in this is like, one, they're not kids, they're grown adults.
Right.
and they're just like normal people. Like, they're not, I mean, you can be a normal person and a performer, of course, but like that's not their job.
Right.
They all have these other day jobs.
He's a dentist, he's a travel agents.
Yeah. Travel agents who have never been anywhere.
Right.
And then, of course, having Corky be like Missouri transplant, like from New York City, I think also just elevates that humor so much of like, yes, we know this guy, and now he's like the big fish in the little pond.
Yep.
And everyone loves him. It's so good. And I actually I watched Best in Show before this, but I didn't even recognize him in this. I was like, wait, what? That's Christopher. When I said Master of Disguise, I mean it, because holy shit, unrecognizable. His Corky is one of my favorite characters I've ever seen. And his costuming, I'm like, I strangely want to be him for Halloween. It would not be my most attractive look, but I need that outfit. I have to feel what it's like to wear something like that and pull out those dance moves he does.
Oh my God. Yes.
I've never seen moves like that. I think it might be the best of all time.
But yeah, like you said, it's super rewatchable, this movie, because I mean, even just like little, if you take specific scenes, say for example, the double date where the Albertsons go out to dinner at a Chinese restaurant with Eugene Levy and his wife. You don't know where to look because everybody is just like, holy God, this is so much going on in this scene, with the comedy, with the characters, with the backstory, with like this game of cat and mouse, and keeping up with the Joneses-ness. And Catherine O'Hara, one of her like gifts to the world is when she plays drunk. Mother of God.
Oh my God.
She is shit-faced in this scene. Not really, but like performing shit-faced. And it is so hilarious. You do not want it to end. You just want to stay with it. You want to see the whole movie. Like, I want the My Dinner with Andre, but instead of My Dinner with Andre, I want My Dinner with drunk Sheila Albertson.
We got some good packages. Incidentally, if you two ever want to get down to Miami Beach, we got a great package, a week, 2 weeks. Oh, all expense, yeah.
You get everything you need. Any kind of food in Blaine. You get Chinese here, and no need.
We're talking about Miami now, dear.
Yeah, we'd love to go. We'd love to.
We got a great package. A week, 2 weeks.
Like there are Chinese people in Miami.
Well, we should. We've stopped
What do we have to do? Of course, there's Chinese people in
We're
Miami.
talking about China.
Well, I'm talking about going to Miami. That's the only
Miami.
thing.
We're talking about Miami.
Dear, why don't you put some food on your stomach before you have any wine?
What's it? Girl talk. What's it like to be with a circumcised man? I'd ask you more about that, but Ron said the whole Jew thing is. Because when Ron had his surgery.
All right.
When Ron had his surgery, I said, hey, circumcise it while you're at it. Just because I've never been with anyone else. Ron's the only man I've been with.
What surgery did he have?
Nothing. I don't know minor corrective surgery. Can we have some coffee at this table, please?
It's not minor anymore.
Well, maybe, we should change the subject.
I had what, most guys would dream of, and I had to have penis reduction surgery.
I'm sorry?
Penis reduction, which there aren't many. You're going to say I never heard of that because there haven't been many cases.
I said, Ron, do something. And he said, why don't you get one of those vagina
Oh,
enlargements?
dear, can we have some coffee over here?
Have you tried the egg rolls?
Because
It is an award worthy drunk performance. It's so believable.
so believable. And Fred
I
Willard
love
just
how
playing off of
quickly-
her. Yeah, it's
Yes.
just like you get the sense it's like, okay, this is what they do when they go out. Like he has to constantly rein her in and prevent her from making a fool of herself.
Well, he's already done that himself.
Right.
I love how quickly it happens too. I went back and watched this scene, and it's not like a cut where later on in the dinner she's shit-faced. It's she goes from being fine to completely shit-faced in 1 second.
She's shit-faced when the scene starts. She's just not.
Oh, does she? Okay, yeah, that's fair. It just gets really extreme, very quickly.
Yeah, if you look at her, the way that she's moving and looking around, she showed up
swaying.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's probably always drunk in this movie.
Right. Well, when your husband is that guy.
Oh my Lord. Yeah. Jesus. It's so painful.
There's actually a great deleted scene that I'm sure they cut for time. They might have also cut because it's almost a little too sad, but there's this great deleted scene where Fred Willard is at home and he's just reenacting for some reason this moment from a random World Series, and he's just there with a wiffle ball bat, and he's like, "Hey, Sheila, come over here. You gotta help me out here. I'm reenacting this scene." And she's drunk off her ass, and she's she gets up and she takes the ball and she just throws it right at his face before he's ready. He's like, "Hey, hold on, you're not supposed to do it like that. You're still warming up." And anyways, it's hilarious, but it is dark and kind of bleak to just see their home life for a second. You're like, yikes.
Oh Lord. Yeah. I would imagine they had to cut a lot of that where it just went too far.
Apparently there's 60 hours of footage for this film that they had to sift through, which, I mean, can you imagine? That's probably got to be the hardest job of working on one of these Christopher Guest movies, because you just have hours and hours and hours of brilliant comedy gold. It's how do you choose? How do you pick?
And especially a 90-minute movie. I mean, last year, every movie was at least 2.5 hours long. So, maybe they could learn something from the editors of Christopher Guest movies.
They definitely can. Everybody can learn a lot from Christopher Guest movies.
I think so.
Just a really tremendous piece of work.
Mm-hmm. I was also so impressed with the production itself. I kind of thought I actually think the musical is super fun. And
fun, yeah.
Maybe I'm just psychotic, but I was super into it. And I was so into the songs and the dances. The dancing was so good. I also loved how, what's his name? Johnny Savage drops out and Corky has to replace him. And it's like clearly a very masculine role, but he just like does not change who he is. Like the director cannot act. He just plays himself on stage. But he has like the ultimate like drag gorgeous makeup or like over dramatic makeup on. It's so good.
Yeah. I mean, the play is here's the brilliant part of the film is the play is fucking terrible.
Yeah, it is.
But what the movie has done is it has made you fall in love with these characters.
Yeah.
So you are like the people sitting in that audience of Blaine, Missouri, who know the dentist and who know, the Dairy Queen girl and who know all these people. And because you love these people, you're just like, look at them. They're doing their thing. Look at that. Hey, there goes that guy. Look at good. Bravo, So you are a member of the Blaine community in that moment as you're watching this play, and you're having a great time. You're happy to see them doing this thing. And the dentist is up there and he's kicking ass and his wife is so proud of him. It's just quite lovely.
You feel like Michael Hitchcock's character. He's like, man, he's just so good. He's so good. Damn it, I wish I was in that play.
The ending is quite artful, I think, because you have, once they find out that it's not actually Mr. Guffman, but just some random bloke who, which is so good because as you're during the play, they're cutting to cutaways of this guy and he's just like, you see him chuckle a little bit. You see him like applaud. You're just like, oh, all right, they're winning him over. And he's like, at the end, Corky goes up to him and it's like, would you like to meet the cast? He's like, I'd like that. This guy's just like strolled in here. He's like, hey, all right, man. Not a bad day at the old Blaine.
Yeah, lucky me.
But anyways, the ending is artful, I think, and quite beautiful and tragic is because you get these, they find out that it's not Mr. Guffman. And these poor cast members, they're just like, hey, they're drenched head to toe in these American flags, drenched in their American dreams, if you will.
Yeah.
However unfounded they may be, we've all been there. And their dreams are just crushed and they're hurt and they're crying. They're crying real, genuine tears. This scene is not really played for laughs. They're really feeling it. And they cut to Corky and he sits down and the camera like zooms in on him. And you're just like, ah, damn. You get the sense there's like, this dude's been waiting for Guffman his whole life, and it's kind of heavy and it just fades out. And it's like, ah, damn, that's tough. That's tough. And then you get the denouement, you see where all these people are 6 months later or whatever, but, and it's back to the funny, but I like that scene because it's really, I think it says something, that scene.
You're so right. It is like, it's not funny. Like you're like, oh my God, I actually feel so bad for these people.
Yeah.
Which is impressive considering you're just like laughing at them the entire movie.
Right. You go from laughing at them to laughing with them to, as you said during the show, having a great time with them.
Yeah, like you want to see them succeed.
Yeah, you want to see them succeed.
Even though like not really deserving, like you're like, this is a shit play, but I hope this shit play makes it to Broadway. Like they actually make you become delusional watching this.
Hey, if Cats could make it to Broadway, why not Red, White, and Blaine?
Oh my God, I would see Red, White, and Blaine any day over Cats.
Yeah,
that's a good point. It's a movie that everyone should watch. Like it's got a little something for everyone.
It's got something for everybody. It's funny. And like you said, it's a brisk 86 minutes. 86-minute runtime, all laughs, no fluff.
Yep.
It is streaming for a limited time currently on Netflix. I think in early April. Right now, all three of these films are streaming on Netflix, but I think they all leave early April. So get it in while you can.
Mm-hmm. And I got to get my rewatches in.
Yeah.
All right. Next up is a 2000s crowd favorite. Christopher Guest's Best in Show. In true mockumentary fashion, the film spotlights 5 dogs and their owners in competition at the Mayflower Kennel Club Dog Show in Philadelphia. We've got all the main players. Catherine O'Hara and Eugene Levy play Cookie and Jerry Fleck, a middle-class couple from Florida entering the competition with their Norwich Terrier, Winky. Cookie is a hottie patati, and Jerry has 2 left feet, literally. But their relationship is sweet and loving, aside from the fact that literally everywhere they go, Cookie's past lovers pop up trying to seduce her right under Jerry's nose. Then there's Christopher Guest as Harlan Pepper, a southern fly-fishing country bumpkin and aspiring ventriloquist who enters the show with the most adorable bloodhound named Hubert. Michael McKean and John Michael Higgins play Scott Donlan and Stefan Vanderhoof, a life-of-the-party gay couple who are confident their prized Shih Tzu, Miss Agnes, will take home the winning prize. Of course, Jennifer Coolidge and Jane Lynch are here. Jennifer plays Sherry Ann Cabot, a glamorous trophy wife with a 2-time winner classic poodle called Rhapsody in White, nicknamed Butch by her extremely competitive trainer, Christy Cummings, played by Jane Lynch.
These names.
So good. And you can't have a Christopher Guest movie without Parker Posey and Michael Hitchcock as Meg and Hamilton Swan, the most excruciating yuppie couple who neurotically dote and fret on their misbehaved Weimaraner, Beatrice. The film jumps back and forth between the participants' struggles or strides through the ridiculous formalities and chaos of this dog show and the hilarious dog show's hosts. We've got Trevor Beckwith and Buck Lachlan. Trevor Beckwith, played by Jim Piddock, is a published author and dog expert, perfect for, the exact kind of guy who would be hosting this show. But he's forced to share the show with the most oblivious commentator, Buck Lachlan, played by Fred Willard, who thinks he's at a ball game, I think.
He thinks he's a lot of places.
He thinks, he's all over the place. There's so many more amazing cameos as well from Guest's classic list of players, and man, do they dive headfirst into these roles or these characters. Personality and chaos ensues, and I think it would be impossible not to watch this movie with a giant smile on your face. I'm going to start off with, this was my favorite, admittedly.
Yeah.
I think it's also, it seems like it's just the most, crowd pleaser, mainstream as well.
It's about dogs. How could you not,
Exactly. You can't.
It's already got 4 stars from that sense. And then the comedic powerhouse is on top of it.
Exactly. And cute dogs. Winky literally is a real life teddy bear. It's insane. I've never seen a dog like that. But oh my God, this was such a masterclass in improv. I couldn't help but just feel like this has to be the most fun an actor, especially a comedian, can have on set, is being in something like this. And then the dogs just heighten it. They really do, because it almost makes it more impressive with them. They're literally improvising improv comedy with dogs. It doesn't get better than that. You don't know what they're going to do. But it works. It works so well. Yeah, Nick, what do you think of Best in Show?
It's just enjoyable. If you're ever in a blue mood, throw on Best in Show and that frown will turn upside down. It's just a damn good time. The first cut to a dog, because I think the film starts with the Swans, that yuppie catalog couple, Parker Posey and I forgot the other guy's name.
Michael Hitchcock.
And they're talking about how the dog is just depressed and it won't talk to them. And it's just been a 2-shot on them the entire time. And it's cutting back and forth with them and their marriage counselor or marriage therapist or whatever. And then at a certain point, it just does this slow pan to their dog who's just lying down on the couch. And it's the first shot of the dog that you see in the picture. And it pops me every time. Every single time that pans over, I just can't help but start laughing my ass off.
It's one of the best intros I've ever seen because they're literally, I think they're talking about like it watching them have sex.
Right.
But the way they're talking about it sounds like they're talking about their kid. And you're just
Right.
like, oh, this is fucked up. You see it, and I think the therapist literally says like, did she say anything? And they're like, no. Oh yeah, and then the pan to the dog. I mean, and the dog does look so depressed.
Yeah.
Like you feel bad for it. You're like, oh, Beatrice, you poor thing. It's the best. It's the best like cold open.
Yeah. And yeah, Catherine O'Hara, totally different from the last performance, obviously.
Yeah.
Very spunky, very sexy, akin to a lot of the sketch comedy characters that she would play in SCTV. She was always kind of like the sexy character or fun to see her play that here, but also, again, just the depth of her character. Like she has this crazy past, but at some point you could tell like she wanted to cut that off and like live a clean, good life with a good dude, you know, because she's been around the block and been with a bunch of like jagoffs. And it doesn't get nicer than this Eugene Levy character. And this poor bastard's having to just be constantly reminded of her past. But it's like it's a really funny dynamic. It's kind of the inverse of the last character where she's in an unhappy marriage. It's like this one, she's in like, you know, a sweet and humble marriage, but her past is like catching up with her.
Yes. Pushed him way off his gate.
Came up behind. Yes.
Oh,
and
friendly enough.
Googleman?
Yeah.
It is you. Malcolm.
Malcolm. Jerry, my husband. This is Malcolm.
Hi.
Malcolm, what's shaking?
Yeah, not much, Gary. How are you? Doesn't she look fantastic?
Well, I'll say.
Thank you.
Well, you got that right.
In what? I don't know, 18, 19 years? Louisville. The Mint Julep. You were working as a waitress there.
Wow.
We-
Malcolm. Oh, yeah.
You know, I banged a lot of waitresses in my day, but you were the best.
You don't
by
forget the
far.
best.
No.
Oh, Jerry.
Ooh,
Jerry.
boy.
Oh, Jerry.
I got to do something about the air conditioning.
Okay.
It's getting.
It's great to see you.
Okay.
It's getting. Hey, nice to see you, Malcolm.
Keep them up. Keep them up, okay?
The beat
That's
goes
good.
on, okay?
There you
The beat
go.
goes on.
Hey,
Jerry,
nice-
my
nice to
husband.
meet
Really,
Okay?
That's.
Oh, boy. Don't worry, Jerry. I know where I am. That was fun.
And Eugene Levy's, I mean, we love them together. That's why, you know, we got Schitt's Creek. Like, they're so good together.
They're just effortless. I mean, I'm sure it's not effortless. I'm sure it's a lot of work, but it doesn't feel like it.
Yeah, just so natural and so believable.
Mm-hmm.
I was, since this was the first I watched, like later on, while I was watching it, I was like, this is insane. Like, this has to be improvised. But then I kept being like, there's no way this is improvised. It's just too flawless. Like, and I think that speaks to just how amazing this movie is as well, because to have both of those, kind of like a battle of those two things in my head watching it, I think elevates the experience, because you're just like enjoying it, but you're also so, like you said about Waiting for Guffman, in awe of the like raw talent here. Just so goddamn funny. I also think these were like some of the most perfect characters for these actors. Jane Lynch and Jennifer Coolidge. I don't know that I've seen like more perfect roles for these two before.
I think originally Christopher Guest wanted Catherine O'Hara to play the role that Jennifer Coolidge's character plays.
Interesting.
And Catherine O'Hara's like, I don't know. Like, I don't think I can play that funny. She like didn't see the comedy in it, and ultimately went with the role that I think she's way more fit for. And obviously a blessing, because Jennifer Coolidge can play that role like unlike any other, and knocked it out of the park.
Mm-hmm. We both love soup. like just that line alone is so funny, and only she could do that.
we could talk or not talk for hours.
Forever. Oh, I love this movie. This is like a new favorite for me.
This is one of Sonia's favorite films here.
I went back and started literally yesterday. Jonathan came into the room and he was like, "Isn't this the movie you had on the other day?" I was like, "Yep." Yeah, I just needed a little boost.
Watching it again. I should mention the last movie we watched, Waiting for Guffman. Meryl Streep said that's her favorite movie ever.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my God. That's so funny. I love that. Just imagining Meryl Streep laughing to Waiting for Guffman. That's a really nice thought.
Yeah.
I want to shout out Christopher Guest's transformation once again in this because and I want to shout out his improv scene about naming nuts.
Yeah.
It's like one of my favorite scenes I've ever seen. He's in the car they're like driving to Philadelphia and he's talking about how he's from Pine Nut.
I used to be able to name every nut that there was. And that used to drive my mother crazy because she used to say, "Harlan Pepper, if you don't stop naming nuts." And the joke was, of course, that we lived in Pine Nut. And I think that's what put it in my head at that point. So I'd go to sleep. She'd hear me in the other room, and she would just start yelling. I'd say, "Peanut, hazelnut, cashew nut, macadamia nut." That was the one that would send her into going crazy. She said, "You stop naming nuts." And Hubert used to be able to make the sound, and he wasn't talking, but he used to go, it sounded like macadamia nut. Pine nut, which is a nut, but it's also the name of the town. Pistachio nut, red pistachio nut, natural, all natural white pistachio nut.
Almost like somehow quirkier characters than the last in a way.
Yeah.
Which I didn't think was possible.
Sonia loves that name and nuts thing, and always, like, whenever listing something or she's listing something and we're just like going through this long listing process, she goes, "Oh, we're naming nuts," you know?
Oh, it's so good.
I got here 3 pieces of trivia for Best in Show.
I want to play a game.
So, of course, we talked about the announcers, the color commentators for this Mayflower dog show. Fred Willard, of course, Buck Laughlin, was specifically instructed by Christopher Guest not to do any research on dogs.
It shows.
It shows. Jim Piddock, on the other hand, who plays Trevor Beckwith, had to do a lot of dog research so that his character would appear knowledgeable and he'd be able to just combat Fred Willard's chaotic quips with actual dog knowledge. And as a result, Christopher Guest says that so many viewers come to him saying, like, "Where'd you get that dog expert?" or "How'd you get that dog expert?" And they're like, "No, that's not a dog expert. This is an actor." But he just had to do his research. Again, speaks to just the breadth of talent and how strong these performances are.
God, yeah.
Because you have to keep up. Fred Willard is just throwing, not haymakers, he's throwing like flabby, he's just swinging his arms around like a crazy person, you know, like a homeless person on meth in a bar fight. He's just swinging around. Yeah. And Jim Piddock's got to keep a straight face and keep it measured and keep it believable that he is a dog expert in this competition that people take very, very seriously. You know?
Right.
I think the Shih Tzu is a terrific dog.
What's that one?
The Shih Tzu.
The Shih Tzu.
That's one you don't play around with that name, do you? It doesn't come trippingly off the tongue. They breed them small. You'd think they'd want to breed them bigger, wouldn't you, like grapefruits or watermelons?
Whoa, I'm sorry.
He went after her like she's made out of ham. Yeah, look at that poodle. She knows she's a winner, and look at her handler. That is one happy fella.
Actually, a woman.
It's sad to think, when you look at how beautiful these dogs are, to think that in some countries these dogs are eaten.
It's one of the more impressive performances just because how do you combat the urge to laugh?
Exactly.
Fred Willard. Like, there's one point where he throws probably like 7 back-to-back questions at him. He's like, and you can see, what's his name? The dog expert, like, going to answer one of them every single time. And then at a certain point, he's just like, all right, like, it's over.
I give up.
Oh my God. It's so good. And yeah, earlier I'm like, oh, he thought he was at a ball game. You're so right. He didn't know where he was. It was like a pageant, a football game, a baseball game.
Yeah.
A race. So it's just brilliant. Just brilliant.
This kind of is a fun piece of trivia for all of the, Spinal Tap fans out there. The manager of the hotel is showing various cleaning products when he's giving the tour of the cleaning room, because they're going to have to probably clean up some pet stains throughout the duration of the competition. And he mentions a rock band trashing their room and roasting a goat. And of course, that is a reference from This Is Spinal Tap, which of course stars Christopher Guest and features a lot of the same actors as this film.
Amazing.
Did we talk about This Is Spinal Tap on our Rob Reiner thing? I don't think we did.
I don't think so. Yeah.
We did. Have we talked about Spinal Tap ever on this show?
We haven't.
Oh, fuck.
Because I actually haven't seen it.
Oh, shit. You should watch it now. This is the perfect time to watch This Is Spinal Tap because now you're in the mockumentary mood. And
yes,
that's the one, that's kind of the one that started it all,
Right. That's what I was reading. Yeah. I was like, oh, I didn't actually even know that he was involved in it. But
yeah, he's him and Michael McKean and Harry Shearer. Like those are the 3 guys. Those are the 3 members of the group, the rock group. And then, and then it's directed by Rob Reiner. And it's so funny and it's so real.
It sounds amazing. It's been on my list for so long. And yeah, I feel like now is the perfect time.
Yeah.
To check it off.
See the origins of this whole subgenre here.
It's so clever.
All right, third and final piece of trivia. Catherine O'Hara, she talked about how working on these movies, most of the time you would not have to run anything by Christopher Guest. If you had an idea, you just go out there, you do it. And then you try it out and you play with it. But she had an idea for this picture that she was like, ooh, I don't know. Because it was kind of risky. And she knew that it was a bit risky, so she kind of went to Eugene Levy and was like, hey, I'm thinking about doing this. And he was like, oh, you might want to run that one by Chris, That one might be too much. Good thing she ran it by him because I think it was indeed too much. Her idea was that before every dog show or performance, her character would help Winky.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
She would massage him in such a way just to, get the nerves out, relax him, get a release going.
Oh, my Lord.
So, Catherine O'Hara, thankfully, we didn't get that.
Catherine O'Hara, girl.
Not all of her ideas were good.
A perfectly imperfect person.
Yeah.
Oh, that is fucking hilarious. Wow. I'm really glad we didn't have to see that. Oh, that's hilarious.
There you have it. Give me 3 pieces of trivia for Best in Show.
It's so good. This made me kind of want to watch the National Dog Show on. I know, like, our friend Jess watches it every year on Thanksgiving. I didn't even know it was a thing still.
I mean, there's competitions year round. They're just like, I mean,
are there really? Wow.
Yeah.
See, I feel like I'll be disappointed though because there's no Fred Willard.
Yeah, they need to get Fred
Commentating.
Willard commentating on it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's half the battle.
Well, in the recent Westminster Dog Show or some dog competition, they actually did a tribute to Catherine O'Hara, and they showed clips from this film. So.
That's so sweet. So good.
Yeah, it's top to bottom.
Yeah, I mean, I could spend an
Jokes are
entire
good time.
episode going over each of these characters because it's just a masterclass, but we only have so much time. Another example of like, God bless the editors. I think they also had like a ridiculous amount of footage to go through.
I'm sure.
And I'm like, give me the 60-hour cut.
Yeah, I wonder with the DVD or Blu-ray if there's a plethora of deleted scenes on this. I'm sure there are. Those will be fun to check out and look up.
Yeah.
This is why everybody should, instead of going on Netflix, or if you can't watch it in the next few weeks before it goes out of Netflix, you go to check out your local video store, Vidiots, Cinephile Video, Videotech. Support your local video stores, rent it from them. That way you can check out all the bonus features. Remember bonus features, how fun they were?
The best.
Best in show.
I have one final thought. Sorry. I just want to shout out Catherine O'Hara's twisted knee.
Oh, the knee wobble.
The knee wobble. The physical comedy of the knee wobble. I've never seen anything like it. It's the best. It's living in my head rent-free all week and hopefully longer because it's just too good.
What I didn't realize until this last time I watched it is, she falls, she hurts her ankle, and she tries to get up, and she does this knee wobble thing that you're referencing, and it's just like so silly and ridiculous, but also looks painful at the same time. And I'm like, oh my God, don't hurt your leg. But what I always missed was at the end when Winky wins and she's running onto the her knee's still doing the wobbly thing
all the way across the field. It's so good. Just warms my heart.
All right, the final picture that we are talking about with the Catherine O'Hara, Christopher Guest collaborations is For Your Consideration. It's from 2006. Again, directed by Christopher Guest. Written, quote unquote, by Guest and Eugene Levy, as all these have been. And unlike the other Guest films that we've explored, this movie is not a mockumentary, but rather just kind of a biting satire on Hollywood, the award season, award poaching. Catherine O'Hara stars as Marilyn Hack. Her name is Marilyn Hack, for God's sakes. An actress who's kind of accepted her role in the industry as just like a mid-level actor, but working. And she's currently working on the film Home for Purim. She's given it her all, despite what appears to the audience to be as kind of like a lackluster script and a spacey director. But during the picture, somebody tells Marilyn Hack that there's some internet buzz has started, that her performance is getting Oscar talk, Oscar buzz happening. Mind you, the film is still in production. But this rumor and this happens, in case anybody didn't know, there's several examples from this year where this happened. The rumor gets Marilyn, she's all hot and bothered about this. Her energy changes, the thoughts of her earning that Academy Award, they could be life-changing, of course. And as the production continues, more Oscar buzz stirs about the picture, including for her co-stars, Callie Webb, who's played by Parker Posey, and Victor Allen Miller, who's played by Harry Shearer. And the Oscar rumors consume the movie set. motivate the studio to get more involved, change aspects of the picture, including the title. It's no longer Home for Purim. It's Home for Thanksgiving now, just to make it more, less Jewy. We've got, perhaps most importantly, the Oscar rumors. They start to change the actors themselves and the people they were. The later movies of the Christopher Guestiverse, A Mighty Wind and this, maybe a little less funny, but a little bit more real, a little bit more heartbreaking.
Yeah.
A little bit more cynical. Maybe not with A Mighty Wind. A Mighty Wind's quite beautiful. But this one, probably the more cynical of the bunch. Bella, your thoughts on For Your Consideration?
Yeah, this one, I think it just kind of threw me off a little more. And definitely, I feel the cynicism. And I mean, last week, you were like, we have to watch For Your Consideration so you can see how really are. Or something like that, because you know how much I love them, even though I know they're
I said it much
ridiculous.
more politically correct for all of my Oscar voters listening to this. I respect everything.
You can take that out. It is just like, it's kind of an excruciating watch compared to the others, I would say. So I didn't love it, but I also obviously didn't hate it. And I think Catherine O'Hara was like the shining star for me in this movie. Because, I mean, obviously she's a little bit more main character than some of the other movies are more ensemble. Yeah. And this one's like Marilyn Hack front and center, and then like supporting characters. But she's just amazing in this. It's really funny to see her in this role, especially like having just watched The Studio, which is very similar.
The Studio, I think, is just it's a modern take on this, basically.
Yep. But her character, you feel so bad for her character in this. It's a really sad. It's like this is like a human BoJack Horseman, if that makes sense. Where it's really funny, but it also does get you in the feels. Like,
yeah,
you're kind of like, oh, this is kind of fucked up. Actually, at some points, even like it's much darker than his other movies that we're talking about today.
Yeah. I think that's why I enjoyed it so much, because also just like working in the industry, I was like, oh, this isn't mockumentary. This is documentary. This is life. This is what it is. This is exactly how it goes. So I enjoyed it for that aspect of it.
Totally.
Harry Shearer is so endearing in this and wonderful and lovable. And again, it's unsurprisingly, the casting is just tremendous, top to bottom. Everything is great. Catherine O'Hara is amazing. And seeing where she starts the picture, like the film opens with her watching a classic piece of cinema, and you see her just kind of watching it and dreaming, and you see like why she loves this. This is why she does what she does. She's in love with the work. She's in love with what's on the screen. But over time, this industry will kind of get in your head, and we kind of see what that does to that love. She's constantly concerned with how she looks.
Yeah.
She's constantly concerned with what other people think about how she's doing. This is just so apt and so real, such a real experience that I see literally day in and day out on set and not on set, and not just with actors, it's like with crew members as well, questioning their worth, questioning if they still got it, and I battle with bouts of it myself from time to time. So that's why I think I like this so much, is because maybe there's less jokes per minute. Maybe you're only getting 1 or 2 jokes per minute instead of 7. Instead, what you're getting is a lot of real commentary on definitely the industry of how it was in the 90s and 2000s, but broadly on just fame and and acceptance in whatever world you're in. And I think that it's strong in that way.
It says a lot about self-worth in like creative careers specifically.
Yeah. I want to talk about Parker Posey's performance in this one because she's actually really great in this. Much more grounded than the other performances that we've talked about today. She's this young kind of up and coming actress, and she's doing it for the work. She's kind of, without saying it, you kind of get the sense like she was the young Marilyn Hack before Marilyn Hack kind of, got beat down by the industry, and she's not doing it for the awards. She's doing it because she loves to act, until of course the Oscar buzz starts that she might be getting nominated also. And then you see her demeanor totally change.
Yeah.
But she gives a real nuanced performance, and the scenes that are within the scenes where they're actually like filming the movie and you see her performance, like,
oh yeah,
a lot of the scenes in the movie, that's where the comedy is because it's so bad and so silly and so ridiculous. But by design, I think they're making her performance a little bit more stable and cinematic. And I'm, as any of the listeners, the diehards know, I love a performance within a performance, and her performance within the performance in this is really, really good.
It's so true, because then it plays in so well, because you're like, wait, she actually probably does have a chance at winning the Oscar. Because you're like, she's taking it real seriously. Like that is a genuine performance right there.
Yeah.
Oh God, it's so true. I think her and Catherine O'Hara were the heart of the film, and then the other characters have a little bit more leeway for comedy. It is just like the domino effect, I guess you could say, is so funny to watch in this, where like the Oscar buzz, the way they talk about it's so real, and it is like so equally painful as it is funny to watch the actors like really start to believe their own hype, if that makes sense. Like, and then it just like ruins everything for them as well, which you're like, oh, it's so painful, but it's also really funny. And the emotional whiplash when the awards attention is just like gone and they don't get the nominations, and like the way that all falls apart for each of them. Whereas like, I think his name is Chubbs, like sleeps through the call. He's the only one to get an Oscar nom. You're just like, that's so real.
Basically, this is Timothée Chalamet, the film.
Gagged. So true.
But I mean, this happens every year, it's really true.
Exactly. Yeah, we act like it's one person.
Before the that Smashing Machine movie came out, everybody was like, "Oh, this is people are talking Dwayne Johnson potential Oscar." I'm like,
that's right.
Nobody's seen the film. What do you mean they're talking potential Oscar? How? Because you've seen stills of him with prosthetic makeup on his face?
Right. Oscar.
People are talking.
It is an interesting expose on like the power of rumors, I guess, in an industry that kind of feeds off of it. And then also, just like what that does to people's mental health, or like their own, I said self-worth, but also just like how they view themselves.
Yeah.
Catherine O'Hara's character, for example, ends up like getting so much plastic surgery that she looks like permanently just like ecstatic. Like she looks like the Cheshire Cat. Like, it's super unsettling.
And how many times have we seen that? I'm not going to mention names, but it's really sad.
I know. And this was like, it was really striking to have watched that right after the Oscars, where like plastic surgery, I feel like, was a really big like talking point it on social media. And this was obviously like, what, 20 years ago now, more?
Yeah, 20 years ago. When we jump in time and Catherine O'Hara, we see her she's transformed into, this shell of herself with this horrible plastic surgery, and, totally devoid of saying anything real and has become kind of this like robotic, I don't want to fuck up, so I'm just going to say nothing type character. It's really shocking and kind of unnerving. And but I want to talk about like what's so impressive about Catherine O'Hara's performance here is there's no special effects makeup done on her in this scene. That's just Catherine O'Hara making a crazy, putting her face in some crazy formation and somehow like keeping it there, you know, like
what?
Yeah.
That's like the most impressive thing I've heard this whole episode somehow. Like that, it looks like makeup.
That's just her. I mean, like she's wearing makeup, but she's not wearing anything that's like pulling her face back. Or
no, but yeah, it looks like she must have taped it or something.
Right, exactly. No, she's just making a crazy plastic surgery type face where she can't stop smiling and her forehead doesn't move. And she even does this thing that she mentions, like she saw like people that she know would have this like tick who had like bad work done where like one of their eyelids would just like go down and they'd have to like pick it back up. She does that little tick from time to time and it's just like, God damn. It's like it's really kind of scary to watch.
It is.
Like it's a big tone shift, this movie from the other ones. But anyways, that just really impressed me about her performance, because then you have that look on her face where she can't emote, right? And then there's the scene where she's watching them announce who the nominees are going to be. You know, it's like 5 a.m., you know, when they announce the thing, and she's just watching it at home. And the camera stays on her face as you're hearing the nominees get announced. And it goes past the 5 and her name wasn't called. And you see her eyes fill. And the camera just like slowly pushes it and they move on to the actors. And you just hear her like say her own name. And she's like, just say my name. What's so hard? Just say my, and she just breaks down. It's really heartbreaking, very intense performance by Catherine O'Hara. That is just super, super gut wrenching. But she's doing it all while she never stops smiling, but you can see still pain everywhere. Woo, it's good stuff, man. It's really good stuff.
God, it is. I'm still in shock. I can't believe she could do that.
Watch this movie again without having just watched Best in Show or Waiting for Guffman.
Yeah.
Check it out another time down the line, and you may have a fresh perspective on it.
I think so. Yeah. Like I almost wish I'd watched it first just to like, cause it is a bit of a downer, you know, compared to the others. So it's kind of just like a big drop off after Waiting for Guffman, but no shade to the film itself, you know, like that, like we're saying, that was very much just like time and place for me. But yeah, talking about her performance in that tone, it made me think of Sunset Boulevard a little bit. Yeah. Where you're like, this is so sad, but I'm also kind of scared, like almost horror movie level.
And then we get another funny drunk version of Catherine O'Hara in the classic Christopher Guest denouement when the like Entertainment Tonight show Fred Willard host goes to her house. It's so evil. Fred Willard's like,
so evil.
I thought I was gonna, you know, who wants to talk to the nominees? Let's talk to the people who didn't get nominated. So they like, surprise people in their element, and they catch her in front of her house, and she's fucking smashed while she's throwing out the trash. Oh my god!
Wrong house.
No, the right house.
I didn't get
We want to talk to Marilyn Hack. Marilyn Hack. And trash. What a juxtaposition. We know that. And what happened? But the important thing is people, if you get close to being nominated, that's what it's all about.
It's all right. It's a big tease. Because 4 out of 5 of those girls are going to lose big time.
Can I ask you?
Way worse than me today. I didn't even get nominated. I'm not going to lose.
What happened? But what happened?
I'm not going to lose.
All right.
How can I think I'm going to win if I'm not nominated?
That's what I mean. You came this close to being nominated. I don't think you could have done that.
I'm going to go to France.
What for?
How'd the French girl get in?
Oh, well, that French movie drives me nuts with the writing on the screen.
But that's French.
I always think it's late-breaking news.
French. It's not legal. Then I'm going to come back, and they're going to say, oh, la, la, French foreign. You're so...
Right,
let's give you all the awards. Yeah, and I'll say, fuck you.
Whoa,
you didn't even know it's me.
No, I'm sure...
Yeah. Go see Frenchie.
I think they did a wonderful job. Best of luck.
What? I got so much food. Come on.
Marilyn Hack. Now I know what it feels like to stare down into the Grand Canyon. Chuck Porter, Hollywood Now, saying, fade out.
Yeah, this movie, I think this movie takes the swings that the studio has yet to take. Like, it goes further than the studio. The studio, I think they do good work over there, but like for a show that is about satirizing the industry, it's pulling a lot of punches. It's holding a lot back, and this film doesn't.
I think it's a fun movie to watch post-awards season.
Mm-hmm. Or be a good movie to watch right as awards season gets started.
Yeah, it's a little bit of like a reality check.
It's a good time.
It's a movie I would recommend.
Yeah. For your consideration from 2006. Once again, it's streaming on Netflix for a limited time, or you could check out your local video stores and rent it from there. Lots to love, lots to be impressed by with just like the sheer talent that Catherine O'Hara delivered in these films. Building these characters, building their backstories, delivering both comedic performances and dramatic performances in the worlds of absolutely ridiculous mockumentaries or satires. Just absolutely tremendous. A tremendous career. And she's here with us forever because of it. So our love and our gratitude to Miss Catherine O'Hara. Let us know what you think of these films, and let us know what your favorite Catherine O'Hara picture is. There's a couple ways to do that. You can go to Instagram and follow us at Gimme3 Podcast. That's GIMME, spell out 3 podcast. Gimme3 Podcast. You can slide into our DMs there and let us know what you think. We also have polls there from time to time, letting you, our audience, pick which movies we're going to discuss. Bella posts all kinds of behind-the-scenes photos and cool videos as well. So just follow us at Gimme3 Podcast on Instagram. You can also send us a text message by scrolling down to our episode description. You'll find a link there that says, send us a text message. Click that link. Your message is going to go directly into our inbox, and we may even read it on the air. If you like the show, if you enjoy the Gimme 3 podcast and you want to support us, there are a few ways to do that. 3 ways to do that, in fact. Number 1, we do have a Patreon for a mere $5 a month. Cheaper than pretty much breathing these days. Sure as shit, cheaper than a goddamn gallon of gas.
Oh, yeah.
You can support our show, $5 a month. Our Patreon. It helps keep the mics on, and there is some bonus content on there as well. You can download our episodes. If you automatically download our episodes, really helps out our algorithm, helps out the show. Leave us a review as well. That helps us out, and it just makes us feel good. You know, we like to feel good here at the Give Me 3 podcast. Third and final way is, of course, just to send the show to your friends. If you've got friends who are cinephiles, if you've got friends who love movies, if you've got friends who love Catherine O'Hara or Christopher Guest, send them our show. Send them this episode. Spread the love. Spread the wealth of the Gimme 3 podcast. Bella, do you want to let the lovely folks know where they can find you on the social medias?
Yes, you guys can find me on Instagram at Portrait of a Cinephile or on Letterboxd at BFStratus.
You can find me on Letterboxd on Instagram or on Blue Sky at Nicholas Ibarra. Ibarra is spelled with a Y. Thank you all for listening to the Gimme 3 podcast, and we will see you at the movies.